Hey guys, Coach Hunter here, coming at you with Dylan and another grappling fundamentals video. So we've covered side mount with two different scenarios, regular like full mount as that's often called, with the bridging escape, and today we'll be talking about back mount. So back mount is probably overall, in all of the combat sports where grappling occurs, the worst position, because all of my tools, my arms, my legs, my teeth, all of my natural weapons are facing forward. Right? When someone's behind me, he's on my back, all my weapons are facing the wrong way. And anyone who tells you, oh yeah, you just reach back and gouge their eyes, does not know what they're talking about, okay? It does not work that way. So this is the most dangerous position. It's also instinctive. Like if, you just go to your knees real quick, and you turn around. If I'm looking to assassinate Dylan, right, and I have a knife, I'm gonna sneak up behind him and stab him in the back, right? If he turns around, he sees me with a knife, now it's a fight, right? It's no longer an assassination, it's like a struggle, right? Very different if I'm like, hey, what's that over there? And get him, okay? So I think it just sort of makes sense, I think, that having someone behind you is scarier than having someone in front of you who wants to hurt you, right? So let's get into that. So Dylan is being behind me. He's gonna be sitting, for now, with his hooks in, okay? So these are his legs inside my legs, okay? There's a lot of technical reasons why we have these, but the main thing is that his hips are now locked to my hips. So I can't just turn and escape. He's like connected to me. See how he's like moves with me? But he's also gonna connect with his upper body to my back. Now he's gonna be under one armpit and over the other. Why? There's a lot of reasons. The main thing is that if he's under both armpits, he has really good control. It's hard for me to get him off of me. But he can't strangle me, which is the dominant finish here. If you watch fighting, you'll see lots of the rear naked choke or RNC finishes here, and that's just the strangle from the back. Now, if he wants, he has both arms over. He has two strangling arms. He can choke me with either arm, right? However, I can turn my shoulders pretty freely with respect to him, so he has less control. So typically we go over and under for like a kind of mixture, a halfway point, where he has a control arm and a strangle arm. It's really important I know this, okay? Because my first thing is to survive. So my chin is tucked, which is not a guarantee, it just slows things down a bit, right? And I'm controlling this strangling arm. Both of my hands are on top of it. Because if he tries to get his arm into my neck, now I can kind of help stop him, okay? Because if I don't, he can just choke me. So it's a big mistake to ignore this arm and start grabbing the feet and stuff. Look at Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, right? So that's exactly what happened. Matt was ignoring a choke and reached down to the feet to try to pull those off, and he got choked out. Always defending first, survive first, okay? Defending the choke. Next, generally speaking, we're not going to be sitting here. You can, it happens. But most of the time, we're going to fall because it takes effort. Right now, I'm using my abs to hold myself up. So when I'm worrying about something else, I'm going to fall. And my preference on this escape is to fall to the underhook side. So it's under my armpit on my left, so I'm going to fall to my left, right here. Okay, so I'm controlling the choking arm, not getting strangled right away. My head is gonna fall to the mat. So I find my head to the ground, okay? What this is gonna do is allow me to rotate on that point, the point where my head contacts the mat. I'm gonna use my feet to start shifting my hips to the side. My shoulders come with me. And I'm using the mat essentially to scrape him off my back because he can't go through the mat. As I rotate, he stops, he's stuck in place, and I rotate to where now my back is flat on the mat, and I'm essentially out. Not all the way, but most of the way. This is an important point where it becomes a scramble. A scramble is any time when we're between defined positions, where either of us could end up gaining the advantage. So it's kind of like who's faster, who's got better kind of sense of like where they want to go, who like has better drilling, okay? As to where, so if I'm faster, I'm not gonna rotate, and come up into his guard. If Dylan is faster, he might end up coming up to mount. So now I have to escape this position also, which luckily we have just drilled, so we know how to, okay? I'll start over. But that's way better than having someone just stuck on my back. So he's got his hooks, he has a seatbelt grip or over-under grip, okay? I grip his arm, the arm that's choking me, or potentially choking me. And I'm defending my neck, okay? I'm gonna fall, in my case, this is my preference, toward the underside. My head finds the mat, okay? I'm gonna start using my feet. Once again, my feet are engaged to the mat, my legs are in play. I'm turning. My back is flat on the mat, and now it's a scramble, okay? When you're drilling this, I usually tell people, have the person who had the back to come up to mount, because then I get to escape mount as a twofer. Because if I can out-scramble him, great, but don't assume that. Usually I assume the worst case scenario. So let's run through that a few times. Just gonna go ahead and drill it. You guys can rewind the video if you want to hear the technical details again. So guys, super important to get down. Because if you get your back taken, you are in a bad position. You have to understand how to escape. And it's often like a nightmare position for people. And if you're trained, even more so, because you know how dangerous it is. So guys, like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to see all of our content. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the mat.